It is the night before the trip. I'm super excited.
There's actually a rodeo going on across the street right over there. When you're on two wheels, it's a lot of adventures out there for you.
All right, it is the night before the trip. I'm super excited. Just wanted to get out here and just kind of film the before. So bike's all ready to go. Tire pressures are checked. Just had service done on this bike a couple of weeks ago. It's fully fueled up, ready to go. And I've got all my gear packed for rain, for definitely expected heat, and you know, all my tools and everything. Just got to fill up my water bottle. I've already got my MSR fuel bottle there filled up. Probably won't need it for, well, definitely won't need it on the first day. Day two, there's a stretch of road where might be a little bit tight between fuel stops. So just in case, and you know, doesn't hurt to have a little bit extra fuel. You can always share it with someone if they're stuck on the road. But yeah, night before, I'm ready. I'm excited. Gonna get a good night's sleep and hit the road tomorrow.
Hey everyone, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. My name is Zenzo. I'm not sure if I'm gonna make this YouTube video public or what channel it's going on. If you're watching this and I do make it public, it's either because you're a fan of aquariums or maybe you stumbled across this channel through fitness. I am going to be going on a solo 2,000-mile road trip starting today. It's gonna take me through lots of California, Nevada, and Arizona, doing a big loop. Gonna visit some friends, some family, and also just kind of some alone time. I've always wanted to do a long distance trip solo. I've done like a couple like medium trips, like 1,200 miles and 800 miles, stuff like that. But I've never done a like a very long multi-state trip. So the reason I'm doing this is, one, I've always wanted to do it, and two, I'm coming up on the 1-year anniversary of my mom passing away. I thought it would be kind of a good time for me to finally check something off of my bucket list and just have some alone time and you know, time to just, you know, be in my thoughts and everything. So anyway, I am going to head out, stop talking. I got to hit the road. I've got an easy day today. Today I'm going from where I live in the Half Moon Bay area in coastal California up to Incline Village in Nevada, which is on the north side of Lake Tahoe. Before I hit the road, I thought I would do a quick little talk about the bike, why I'm taking this bike. I do have two other bikes. This is my Street Fighter V2, the good one with the Super Quadro engine. Not the new one that's a little bit more tame. But this, no way would I go on a long trip with this bike. This is good for maybe an hour and a half or two, and then I'm feeling a little tight and cramped. I could take the Multistrada. The issue with the, not an issue, but the great thing about the Multistrada is it's a do-everything bike. You can go fast, you can tour, you can, you know, do lots of fun things, wheelies and all the crazy things. But I kind of go a little bit too fast on this bike, and I just want to really have like a relaxing, chill ride, and that's where the 2024 Lowrider ST comes in. So definitely, you know, nimble, light enough to have some decent fun on some moderately curvy roads. It's not a sport bike or anything like that, but also, you know, large enough to do a multi-state trip. So yeah, taking the 24 ST, I'm packed. I've got my hard bags with like hot weather gear, just in case some rain gear and some other stuff. I got my Thrashing duffel there with clothing and things like that, and just other items in my backpack. I've got water, I've got my fuel bottle here. So anyway, yeah, I'm ready to go, and it's time to hit the road. first stop of the trip. That was a very boring leg of the journey. It's just on I-80 and then I-50. So flat, hot, not a whole lot to see really. I know that day 4 is going to be kind of like that, going from Phoenix back to the Los Angeles area. So another stretch of road that's going to be pretty boring. But anyway, I'm somewhere, I'm in El Dorado County now, so I'm about to head up the hill towards Tahoe. So it should be a little bit more scenic and a little bit less hot. So anyway, I had to shed a layer, swap gloves. I'm gonna just filled up with gas. I'm gonna pound some Gatorade and a protein cookie and keep it moving. All right, the first leg is done. I'm kind of glad that the first day has been kind of short, only like 250 miles or so. I got helmet head and mask face, but anyway, I've arrived at my friend's house. Nice trip up to Incline Village. So anyway, I'm going to go in and relax for a minute, and then we're gonna go hang out, do some fun stuff, and go out to dinner with some buddies, and yeah.
That sky, man. Look at that sky.
right, stopped in Bishop, California. The ride from Incline Village all around Lake Tahoe down here, down 395, amazing. Just the mountains and just everything was amazing. So one thing that you don't get when you're driving in a car is you don't get to feel the environment. So you can feel the temperature change, you can smell when rain hits the ground, you can smell the trees. So it was an epic ride. Anyway, I'm down here just gassed up, just getting a quick drink to hydrate. There's actually a rodeo going on across the street right over there. But anyway, I'm gonna do another quick stint to another gas stop in northern Nevada, or not northern Nevada, but north of Vegas in the desert. And then from there, I might shed another layer. I just shed one layer. It was actually pretty cold. It was like 50 degrees, like riding through some of the mountains. So I'm glad that I had the gear on that I was wearing. But now I'm swapping to summer gloves. Just took off my hoodie, so I'm going to be a little bit more lightweight. And I'm definitely an all the gear, all the time kind of guy. So I like to have full coverage. I do have like a full-on lightweight vented armored shirt essentially, or like a lightweight jacket. So when I get to my next stop, if it's super hot, then I might swap that and ride that down into Vegas. But anyway, I'm going to finish my drink and keep pounding some miles. All right, I am, I think I'm in like Beatty, Nevada, at a place called Eddy World Gas Stagecoach Casino. Anyway, I just ran in, used the restroom real quick, just pounded some water, and I'm gonna hit the road. I've got another like hour and 45 minutes to get to the hotel in Vegas, so I'm just gonna push on through and keep it moving. That last little stretch between Bishop and here, part of it was amazing, just going through like the canyony mountain area. Got kind of cold actually, and it rained on me a couple of times. Bike got all muddy and dirty, but then like the second part of that ride was just straight Nevada, like straight line, and I just basically like set the cruise control at 80 something and just try to get here. So anyway, last leg of today, and looking forward to taking a break this evening. All right, today is the start of day 3. Gonna stop by Hoover Dam real quick and then go up to the Grand Canyon. Just probably a short visit there. I'm not going to stay a long time at the Grand Canyon, but I just want to pop by, check it out, and then down into the Phoenix area to see some family. It is pretty early. It's like 7:20 in the morning, so not too hot yet. It was pretty hot yesterday afternoon getting into Vegas. So the goal is to get out of this area before it gets too hot. I checked the weather, and the Grand Canyon area is not too warm, so it should be fine. And then when I leave there, I'll probably swap jackets into my kind of lightweight summer riding jacket, so I can still have protection, but less heavy leather on me. So anyway, I'm gonna hit the road and start the day. So I'm at Hoover Dam. It's a little bit windy. little breezy, not too windy. But this is my first time here, and I timed it perfectly because there's really no one here. It's probably like 8 in the morning. There's a tour bus up there. I just talked to a family right there that's visiting from Nebraska. And but basically no one here. Got to ride across the dam and see something that I've always wanted to see. When you're on two wheels, there's a lot of adventures out there for you. You can see the water line. It's crazy. All right, at the Grand Canyon, it is epic. It lived up to every expectation, if not more. So now I'm just kind of relaxing for a minute. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, so just got a little spinach wrap from a little food truck over there. I'm just gonna eat, hydrate, use the restroom real quick, and keep on going. Next stop will be Flagstaff to fuel up, and then down into the Phoenix area. So a little bit of traffic getting here. At the gate, there's kind of a long line to get in where it's like a toll section where there's like lots of different lanes. But I was fortunate to just kind of sneak through by lane filtering a little bit, even though you're not supposed to in this state, but people were super cool about it. It's kind of hard to move at 1 mile an hour on a motorcycle, especially if like it's uphill. So I just kind of, went through like 5 miles an hour and bypassed a bunch of cars, and then got to the gate, and then went to go pay. It's $35 per vehicle, but the guy said, "Are you a veteran?" I'm like, "Yeah." He said, "Do you have an ID?" So I found an ID in my wallet. Not my actual VA card, which is on my phone, which I didn't have on at the time, but I had like my old military ID, and I showed it to him. He's like, "Yeah, no problem." So yeah, that was cool. So I'm gonna eat real quick and keep on going. All right, just got into Agoura Hills, California, which is kind of like the valley west of LA. I didn't film much today. It was a push just getting from Phoenix area to here. I just took the I-10. It's flat and straight and boring and hot, and there wasn't really a whole lot to do with the set cruise control and just pound the miles. But anyway, just got to the hotel. I've been on the road for about 6.5 hours. I'm going to go in and relax, take a shower, and probably just go out and get some dinner and chill for the day. And then tomorrow morning, head up PCH back home. All right, good morning. It's day 5. I'm actually looking forward to this ride because I'm riding up PCH, which is the highway that goes along the coast all the way up California. And a lot of times it's closed like at certain sections because of slides. So it's been reopened recently, and I've been wanting to do this ride for many, many years. So I'm looking forward to taking the PCH all the way back home. Should be a long day, but not too long. The weather will be perfect. It's going to be like in the 60s along the coast the whole way, pretty much. So not going to be hot, not going to be cold. And the weather looks good. It should be beautiful. It should take about 7 hours or so. Right now it's about 7:30 in the morning, right around there. So I'm all loaded up, just had breakfast, had a good night's sleep, and looking forward to getting home. It's been a long trip. It's going to be well over 2,000 miles by the time I'm done. Yeah, it's been an epic trip that I've been wanting to do for as long as I can remember to do a long ride like this. So anyway, time to hit the road. All right, well, right now I'm in San Luis Obispo. Been on the road for about 2.5 hours. Just stopping, getting fuel. Just got fuel. Used the restroom real quick. And now I'm just gonna keep on going right up the coast. The next stop will be somewhere like in the Monterey area, right around there. And then I'll get fuel in that area and then head up the rest of the way back home. I've got about 5 hours or so on the road left. Might be a little bit less on a motorcycle, but just gonna take my time and enjoy the views and the last stretch of the ride.
All right, I am back where it all started. Made it in one piece. It's about 2:30, so I that last stretch, the very last gas stop, I didn't even take off my helmet or anything. I just fueled up, relieved myself in the restroom with my helmet on, still just, and then from there just ripped up the road from Santa Cruz back up to where I live in the Half Moon Bay area. And fortunately, that last stretch of road didn't have a lot of cars. PCH, there was a lot of traffic, and I was passing at every opportunity I could. Made a lot of time, but that last stretch, not as many cars once I got out of Santa Cruz. My dog's waiting to see me still, so I'm gonna end this video. But yeah, made it in one piece. If you're watching this video, I appreciate it. I don't know if I'm gonna even release it, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fun going through all the footage and making a video. And if you're watching it, you know, drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts. And maybe once I've had a chance to relax a little bit, I'll film a little bit more. All right, well, I'm finally here filming an outro. It's been about 10 days or so. Today's Thursday. I came back on a Monday, so it's been a week and a half or so since the trip ended, and I've had a chance to like get back to normal life and relax a little bit and recover, and think a lot about the trip and what it meant to me, and what I would do differently, and what I might want to do in the future as far as other motorcycle trips. I do want to say, and I'm going to be a little bit long-winded, but if you're watching at this point, like you've already gotten through over an hour of you know, the video, so I'm not trying to be short and concise, but I do want to say that, like, you know, I've been riding motorcycles for a long time. I learned how to ride a motorcycle in 1991. I got my first motorcycle when I was still in high school. I would ride my motorcycle to school. I raced competitively for many years, earned a few paychecks from racing, and I've just been, I used to own a motorcycle shop. I've ridden hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of motorcycles literally in my lifetime. So I want to say that, like, if you're watching when you watch the video, if you're worried about risk and you know, things like that, like, obviously there's a risk in anything that you do, riding a bicycle, surfing, playing basketball, like anything that you do, there's some risk involved. And for me, I just, you know, think about lots of different factors and take that all into consideration when I make decisions on a motorcycle. I'll also say, like, when I was filming, the majority of the shots were from the camera that was mounted on the front of the bike. And so I didn't have to touch that. I would just hit record at the beginning of the day. That memory card would go like 10 or 11 hours. So it would record the entire day without me having to touch that camera at all. I would turn it off at gas stations, things like that. But
And then the camera that I was holding was another GoPro. I wouldn't recommend it for everybody out there, like taking your hands off the handlebars of a motorcycle. Like, it obviously increases your risk. But again, I did it at times when I was confident and comfortable, probably was in cruise control a lot of the time when I was doing that. And so anyway, I just want to put that disclaimer out there. As far as the trip, it was great. It was, as I have been going back and looking at the footage now and editing the video, I have, had a chance to kind of relive the trip almost and remember the things that I saw and the way that I felt and the things that I smelled and what was going through my head at the time. And that was great. And I would do it again. I wouldn't do that exact route. Like, why would you climb the same mountain twice on the same path? If you're going to climb the same mountain, you'd probably go on the backside of the mountain or a different trail or an entirely different mountain. And so for me, it's kind of like that. Like, I definitely would do another long road trip, but I wouldn't do the exact same route. Even I would do some of those same roads, but not the same route. And if I were to do things differently, I would take more time. I think that on some of the days I just pushed because I just had like this idea of like, yep, get it done in 5 days, which was fine. But I didn't get to enjoy and stop and like sightsee as much as I probably should have. So I think if I were to do it over again or do it in the future, I'm going to purposely build in like another day or two to not have to do 500-mile days or 600-mile days. Just kind of keep it to like 300-ish, maybe 400 or something like that, but just a little bit shorter days so that I could have the time to stop and enjoy, sightseeing and stopping at restaurants and things like that. It'd also be fun to do it with a friend, another motorcycle buddy. The challenge that I have with that, and a lot of motorcycle riders like to ride together in groups or, pairs or trios or whatever it is. And I have not, in my entire lifetime, I've not been very fond of that, except for a couple of specific, times or people that I ride with. Like, I don't mind like meeting up with some friends and going for a ride for a couple of hours. And usually it's at a different pace, and that's fine. I totally, it's just fun hanging out with people and having a good time, stopping and getting a bite to eat. But if I'm going to do like a long ride or something like that, like, I want that person to be comfortable going at the pace that I am comfortable going in. And I don't want to push anybody to go at a pace that they don't want to go, and vice versa. But so, maybe at some point I'll find that riding buddy or two that are, comfortable going at the same kind of speeds or pace that I was going. And I wasn't like going crazy. I was, I was just riding. But definitely I would, take more time and just stop and enjoy the sights a little bit more. Additionally, I think the other thing that I would do would be to plan a little bit more ahead of time as far as like my stops and things to do and people to see. I was very fortunate. The first night stayed at my friend's house up in Incline Village, who happens to be one of my riding buddies, but he lives all the way up in Nevada. But he's also an ex-motorcycle racer and races cars now, and he'll come down here quite often, and we'll ride the hills around here, and we go at a brisk pace, a mature but very fast pace. And but he doesn't ride a Harley or anything like that. So but anyways, fortunate to stay at his house, fortunate to stay at my cousin's house and see family, my cousin, and then I guess you would call her my second cousin, which is my cousin's daughter who's growing up, and my cousin's husband. We had a good time hanging out and barbecuing and hanging out in the pool. I think I would do more of that. I think I would stop more often, and also like make like, hey, I'm going to be in this area. Let me, visit so-and-so, or let me, kind of build those experiences in. Otherwise, it was great. A lot of time to just kind of be in my thoughts and think. As I shared in the beginning of the video, kind of the purpose of the video is for me to kind of spend that time and reflect on things. And again, it was a year since my mom had passed, and it was good to have that alone time. In a car, you'd call it windshield time. On a motorcycle, there's no windshield. I guess there's a windscreen, but sometimes. but just a lot of time to think and reflect and also enjoy nature, like the smells and the feeling and the vibrations and the surface of the road. Like there's so many things that you experience on a motorcycle that you don't always have a chance to experience in other types of vehicles. And that was great. I do have music on when I'm riding. So if you're wondering, like, am I just riding for 8-9 hours with just the wind? No, like I've got that Bluetooth thing on my helmet and I'm listening to music. I could listen to podcasts and things like that, but I tend to like to listen to music because you don't have to focus so much on the word. You can just kind of have it in the background and still focus on the road and the experiences and the environment and everything. But just jamming the music. And when I'm listening to music, it's all kinds of music. Like I have a very eclectic taste in music. So there were times when I was listening to Jimi Hendrix and The Doors and Leonard Skinner and Led Zeppelin and Metallica. Then I'd flip the channel and I'd be at like my Johnny Cash station. Maybe I was listening to like Ella Langley, which you wouldn't think that I'd be listening to Ella Langley, but I kind of dig her music. Then I was like, all right, I need a little different vibe. Obviously the Metallica thing kind of get me going sometimes. I'll switch it up and I'll listen to like reggae, and I'll just ride for hours listening to reggae music, and then I'll put like Hawaiian music on. Then I'll put on like 90s hip hop. I'll listen to like Tupac and Cube and NWA and Eric B and Rakim and everything like that, and everything in between. My music taste is very broad, and I was basically like just flicking different channels on either Pandora or my YouTube music, depending on kind of my mood and what I was feeling at the moment. Sometimes like my signal would cut out because there was no like cell coverage, and so I'd have to revert to like music I've downloaded. So I was listening to like the greatest hits of Prince and like stuff like that. So just had a real good time. Just in my thoughts, listening to music, experiencing nature, experiencing the open road, and definitely would recommend it. So don't know when my next trip will be, long trip. Like I ride my motorcycle almost every day, or a motorcycle every day, not that particular one. Like today I rode the Ducati Street Fighter and was ripping around doing some wheelies and stuff on the way home from the gym. But yeah, I definitely will have another trip in the future. Not sure where, not sure when, but this one was one to kind of check that box, and it definitely scratched the itch that I had for a long time, and it made me kind of yearn for something more. So anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate you. If you're interested in this kind of content, let me know down below in the comments. At this point, I've decided I'm going to go ahead and release this video on my secondary channel, not my main channel, because that wouldn't make any sense. So, and if you ride, like, let me know, like, what you ride, where you ride, when you ride, who you ride with. Do you not ride, but you've always wanted to ride? Like, always love talking about motorcycles as well. So anyway, thanks for watching, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.